You think you understand life. You think you understand hardship, betrayal, fear, ambition, greed. But have you ever truly looked at yourself, stripped of all safety, stripped of all illusions? You think you have seen Squid Game? You think you know its horror, its betrayal, its desperation? Look again. Beneath its blood-soaked games and its twisted illusions of hope lie ancient truths, lessons older than any arena of death. The hit show Squid Game shocked millions, but what you saw on the screen was only a fraction of the truth. Underneath the games, the violence, and the terror, there is a deeper, darker lesson. The same harsh truths the Stoic philosophers taught centuries ago. This is not just another feel-good sermon. This is not comfort. This is a ruthless, raw, unbreakable look at what you must understand if you want to survive and thrive, no matter how brutal life becomes. These are not lessons of winning or losing, but of surviving the war within yourself. They are the principles of the Stoics, drawn from the pain of existence, forged in centuries of hardship, and hidden even from the eyes of those who claim to understand power. If you like, subscribe and watch to the end. You will gain weapons, not for your hands but for your mind. Weapons that no betrayal, no tragedy, no defeat can ever take away. Weapons that will rewind your mind. So do not skip a single lesson, because each one is a link in the unbreakable chain that will guard your spirit against this ruthless world. Before we begin, do one thing, not for me, but yourself. Write this affirmation in the comments now. I will become unbreakable. Write it, and let the world see you mean it. Then take a breath, because this is going to cut deep. Today we reveal 12 hidden Stoic lessons woven through the shadows of Squid Game. Truths so stark and unflinching that even Netflix won't show them. Number 1. People will sell you out for bread. Look closely. In Squid Game, you saw how even those who laughed and cried together would betray each other for one more bite, one more day to breathe. The moment the stakes rose, loyalty fell like rotting wood. Do you believe the outside world is any purer? Look around. In the world of business, in politics, even in the smallest family quarrels, people will break your trust for scraps of advantage. They will trade decades of friendship for a moment of comfort. They will sacrifice your well-being to buy a brief escape from their fear. Seneca warned, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. That craving devours men from within. It turns them desperate. It twists their souls." Understand this now. The one you trust today might sell you out tomorrow if their hunger howls loudly enough. This does not mean you should become cold or hateful or close your heart entirely, but it does mean you must anchor your trust with reason, not blind hope. Do not waste your spirit in endless shock or heartbreak when betrayal comes. See it as a law of nature. Hunger will make beasts of men. You are no exception. The mission, your principles, your values, your duty must always come first. Because if you fall into the same desperation, you too could become a traitor to your own soul. Say this to yourself now. I will trust, but I will never depend. If tomorrow comes and those around me turn against me, I will stand alone if I must. I will guard my own mind. I will protect my mission. Because if I do not stand for myself, no one will stand for me. Just as a lone traveler in a storm cannot expect another's cloak to shield him, you cannot expect another's courage to save you. Wear your own armor. Shield your own fire. And remember that even the closest ally might choose bread over you, but you must never choose weakness over your own mission. Number 2. Fairness is a dream for children. Look at the arena of Squid Game. Nothing about it was fair. The games were stacked, the players manipulated, the rules twisted by the powerful who sat watching, smug in their control. From the rigged marbles to the deadly glass bridge, the lesson was clear. Fairness is not a law of this world, and so it is beyond the screen. Life does not hand out rewards according to your goodness. Life does not measure your effort and repay you in equal coin. You may give your all and lose anyway. You may be honest and still be cheated. You may work harder than anyone and yet watch someone lazier, luckier, or more connected rise above you. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire, faced the same harsh reality. He reminded himself, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. He saw the chaos of plague, war, betrayal, yet did not waste his breath begging the universe to be fair. Instead, he mastered himself. This is your path as well. You cannot beg life to change. You cannot weep because others had an easier start, better parents, better money, better luck. That grief is a luxury you cannot afford. Instead, you must sharpen what you do have. Sharpen your skills, sharpen your endurance, sharpen your patience. Where the world cheats you, you must train harder. Where the world takes from you, you must learn to rebuild. Where the world mocks you, you must become too strong to care. Fairness is a child's dream. You are no longer a child. You are a warrior. And a warrior knows that no battlefield is fair. Say to yourself now, I will master the unfair, instead of weeping about it. Let this steel settle in your bones, because tomorrow the world may deal you another crooked hand, and you must play it anyway, calmly, with focus, without excuses. Number 3. Desperation makes people dangerous. Look closely. The world is filled with people who are only one bad day away from losing all reason. One debt that chokes their hope. One betrayal that crushes their trust. One sickness that steals everything they planned. In that moment of collapse, they will do anything. Cheat, steal, hurt, even kill. You saw this in Squid Game so brutally it still haunts you. Ordinary people, mothers, fathers, friends, turned into monsters in the blink of an eye. Why? Because they believed they had nothing left to lose. Seneca, who survived exile and disgrace, warned, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. But if you do not learn to bear those trials, you will not become a gem. You will become a beast." Desperation strips away dignity. It turns a man into an animal, fighting blindly for scraps. That is why you must build yourself now, before the storm hits. Strengthen your skills, fortify your courage, discipline your mind, prepare your heart. So when hardship comes, you do not collapse. The Stoic sees desperation as a trap. If you fall into it, you will betray your own code, betray those you love, betray everything you once swore you would protect. Say to yourself now, I will not be driven by desperation. Instead, I will plan. I will train. I will grow strong enough that even if the world takes everything from me, I will stand tall. I will adapt, not collapse. I will fight with reason, not madness. Because one day, the test will come. And when it does, you will either rise like tempered steel or shatter like brittle glass. Write this in the comments. When the storms come, I will not break. Number 4, comfort weakens you. Look around you. A world of padded seats, easy deliveries, warm rooms, endless scrolling, endless sugar, endless distractions. You have been wrapped in comfort like a baby in a blanket. And while you sleep, your strength leaks away. In Squid Game, you saw what happened to people who lived soft. When stripped of their toys, thrown into chaos, their minds shattered. They did not know how to stand hunger, fear, cold. They could not handle pain because they had never trained for it. Do you think you are different? You are not. Seneca would have stared you straight in the eyes and said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that things are difficult." Comfort breeds a soft heart. A soft heart folds under pressure. A soft heart cannot protect you when the storms come. So test yourself now, before the world tests you. Sleep on the hard floor sometimes. Fast for a day to feel hunger. Step into the cold and let it bite your skin. Practice walking without the shield of convenience, because no soldier ever learned to fight lying on a silk bed. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It is the grindstone that sharpens your edge. You must go toward it, not run from it. Say to yourself now, I will let discomfort train me, not break me. Because one day hardship will arrive, uninvited, merciless. And if you have never tasted struggle, you will crumble like paper in the rain. But if you have trained, if you have lived a little hard, you will meet that day standing tall, unshaken, unbowed, ready. Write this in the comments as a vow to yourself. Comfort will not steal my strength. Number 5. Greed will poison your soul. In Squid Game, the giant sphere of prize money was like a cruel sun pulling every moth to its flames. People betrayed their closest allies, slaughtered their friends, even sold out their own families. Or paper, for numbers on a bank slip, for a promise of comfort that would never truly calm their hunger. Look closer. Do you really believe you are different? Seneca saw the same madness 2,000 years ago, writing, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." You see this even now in people who have every blessing, yet still rot from envy, still panic at the thought of losing their throne, still wake restless, starving for more. Greed is not only about money. Greed is about never feeling whole. It is about thinking the next prize will finally quiet the howling inside you. Ask yourself, how many hours of your life have you wasted chasing one more like, one more zero in the bank, one more pat on the back from strangers? How many times have you traded your calm for a dream that left you empty? That is no different than stabbing a friend for a bigger share. You sacrifice your peace, your honesty, your time, for illusions. Greed is a poison, slow but sure. It eats love, because it makes you see relationships as trophies. It eats friendships, because you begin to measure people by what they give you, instead of who they are. It eats your character, until you can no longer stand to look in the mirror. So do what a Stoic would do. Sit down now, Write on a piece of paper, what is enough for me? Is it a warm home? Is it honest work? Is it health? Is it time with your loved ones? Fix that line in stone and let it be your shield. Because if you do not define enough, the world will keep moving the target, and you will chase until you die, breathless, never tasting satisfaction. Say this with me now. I will measure my needs by reason, not by craving. Imagine you are a lone traveler in a desert with a small water flask. If you cannot accept what you have, you will pour it out on the sand, dying of thirst before you reach your destination. But if you protect it, if you ration it, you will make it through. Your desires are the same. Protect your mind from the poison of greed. Refuse to sell your peace for one more coin, one more compliment, one more cheap thrill. You were born to stand firm, unbribed, unbroken, with your heart strong and your spirit free. Write this in the comments so you never forget. My needs will serve my peace, not my craving. If you hold to that vow, no one will ever rule you again. Not the world, not your enemies, not even your own wild urges. Number 6. Your emotions are a trap. Look closer at Squid Game. Did you notice how few bullets were fired compared to how many players fell to their own panic, their own rage, their own terror? The game was not won by fists, it was won by clarity. It was lost by those who let their feelings rule them. The truth is, you are not so different. You are pulled by rage when someone offends you. You are crushed by fear when life becomes uncertain. You drown in shame when you fall short. All of these are chains. Epictetus warned, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. If a rude stranger on the street can turn you into a wild animal, you are their servant. If a cruel comment on social media can ruin your day, you are owned by shadows. The Stoics saw emotions for what they truly are, storms. Sudden, fierce, and blinding. But storms do not last. They come, they go. Your job is not to stop the storm. Your job is to stand through it, unmoved, unbroken, with your mind steady like a fortress wall. Think of the players in Squid Game. Most fell not because the rules were too hard, but because they panicked. Their own fear killed them faster than any bullet, and so will yours. In your life, the storms will come. A betrayal, an insult, a terrifying risk, a humiliating failure, and you will feel the wind rising in your chest. The heart pounds, the voice trembles, the mind races. That is the moment of choice. Pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this worthy of my energy? Anger is a fire. It burns you as much as it burns others. Fear is a cage. It shrinks you until you can no longer move. Shame is a poison. It makes you small when you should stand tall. The Stoic does not deny these feelings, but he refuses to let them steer the ship. You must become the captain of your vessel. The world will push you, pull you, tempt you, provoke you. If you do not seize the wheel, you will crash onto the rocks of every storm. Calm is your armor. Stillness is your fortress. That does not mean becoming cold, empty, or unfeeling. It means seeing the ocean's waves and refusing to sink with them. Tell yourself now, and as often as needed, I will master my emotions or be mastered by them. Because the world will test you. It will poke at your pride, it will bait your fear, it will press every secret wound you carry. You must stand as a warrior stands unmoved. Think of a mountain. Storms rage over its peaks, rain and thunder batter its slopes, but the mountain remains solid, silent, unshaken. Be that mountain. And if you want to lock in this power, write this in the comments right now. I am the captain of my emotions. That is your shield against every storm yet to come. Number 7. People worship the powerful, not the good. Look at Squid Game. The VIPs sat high in their golden lair, gorging on violence as if it were a feast. The frontman commanded obedience with only a stare. Even those who hated them still bent the knee, because the human heart is drawn to power, even cruel, rotting, ruthless power. Do not lie to yourself. The world outside these games is no different. People talk about loving virtue, respecting kindness, admiring honesty. But the moment someone strong arrives, their words dissolve. They kneel to the one who looks unshakable, not the one who is gentle. Kindness without strength is seen as weakness. Mercy without backbone is seen as permission to be trampled. Marcus Aurelius warned, the opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. Most of the world worships images, illusions, hollow crowns. They do not know real worth. And so you must build your worth on something deeper than applause. People will test your kindness. They will break your patience. They will laugh at your principles. If you are soft, they will use you, just as the contestants were used by the game masters. You must be good, but you must also be strong. Let your goodness stand on stone, not sand. Let your backbone be forged in fire. If you choose virtue, defend it with a sword, not a whisper. Ask yourself, What would I do if no one clapped? If no one praised me? If everyone mocked me? That is the test. That is the way of the Stoic. Do not become a pleaser of the crowd. Do not trade your peace for their shallow approval. Remember, the mob will worship a monster if he looks powerful. They will abandon the good man if he looks weak. You cannot change the blindness of the world. You can only change the clarity of your own soul. Build yourself like a fortress, unmoved by cheers or by insults. Let your walls be virtue. Let your gate be courage. And in the quiet of now, repeat to yourself, I will be strong, not popular, because it is better to be feared for your unbreakable standards than loved for the weakness that invites your own destruction. If you stand tall, even when the world bows to monsters, you will rule the only true kingdom that cannot be stolen, your mind. That is the kingdom of a free man. Number 8. Freedom must be bought with sacrifice. In Squid Game, they were free to go home. They voted. They walked away. But then they returned, crawling back to their prison, chasing coins like moths to a flame. Why? Because freedom is terrifying. Freedom means no one is coming to save you. Freedom means no one else is to blame. Freedom means you carry the full weight of your victories and the crushing burden of your failures. Most people cannot handle that, so they prefer a comfortable slavery, a familiar hell. They prefer to have their chains polished, their cage decorated, so they can pretend they are happy while dying inside. Look around your own life. How many people do you know who stay in a worthless job because they fear to leap? How many stay in toxic relationships because they fear loneliness more than poison? How many fill their heads with endless scrolling, endless chatter, endless excuses, just to avoid looking in the mirror? Maybe that is you too. Epictetus gave you the harsh law of liberty. No man is free who is not master of himself. If you want freedom, you must pay. Pay with your comfort. Pay with your laziness. Pay with the sweet illusions that keep you soft. You must sacrifice the lies you tell yourself, that you will start next week, that you deserve a break, that it is someone else's fault. You must trade your illusions for hard, cold discipline. Yes, you will have to walk alone sometimes. Yes, you will have to look foolish. You will have to fail in front of the crowd. You will have to be mocked, doubted, ignored. That is the price. Freedom is bought with scars. Freedom is bought with the pain of growth. Freedom is bought with the daily choice to say no to comfort and yes to your highest values. Most will never pay. They will die in their gilded cages, but not you. Say to yourself right now, I will earn my freedom with courage, because tomorrow the world will tempt you. It will whisper for you to stay small. It will hand you another chain wrapped in soft pleasures, Netflix, gossip, sugar, excuses, drama. Refuse. Tell the world, I will buy my freedom with discipline. Write those words in the comments right now so they are burned into your mind. Unshakable. I will buy my freedom with discipline. Because a man who pays for freedom with his courage will never be owned again. Number 9. Death is always near in Squid Game. Death stood at every corner. A single step, a single mistake, and you were gone. A bullet, a blade, a fall, a friend turned traitor, and you think your world is safer? Life outside is no gentler. You forget, as you sip your coffee, scroll your feed, complain about small annoyances, that death walks with you every moment. It does not ask permission. It does not wait until you are ready. Memento mori. Remember death. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that strike you like a hammer. You could leave life now. What does that mean? It means you cannot afford to waste a single breath on things that do not matter. It means you cannot afford to put off the life you know you should be living. It means you cannot afford to let laziness rot your spirit while you wait for a tomorrow that might never come. Every moment you live is a blade balanced on a thin thread. But do not fear this truth. Use it. Let it burn away your delays, your cowardice, your cheap distractions. Let it sharpen your courage, light a fire under your dreams, and remind you to love the people you love with all your heart while you still can. Say to yourself, I will live as if death walks beside me. Because death is the one companion who will never leave you. It will arrive someday, but until then, let it be the reason you live fiercely. Number 10. Luck favors the prepared. In Squid Game, it wasn't just luck that saved people. It was those small moments of preparation, the quick thinking, the practiced eyes, the steady hands, the calm breath. In chaos, those who had trained themselves, even a little, rose above the panic of the crowd. You want to survive in this world? You want to thrive, not just crawl? Then you must prepare. Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. That means you do not sit around praying for a break. You do not wish and dream while your sword rusts in its scabbard. You sharpen it, you oil it, you swing it 1,000 times until it feels like part of your arm. Train your mind, so panic does not drown you. Train your skills, so chance cannot find you helpless. Train your courage, so when the storm comes, you do not freeze like prey. This world is the same brutal arena. It may look safe now, warm houses, grocery stores, smiling faces, but storms are always coming. Crises, betrayals, losses, accidents, deaths. If you stay soft, you will break. So read, so build, so learn, so grow. Every day you build one more layer of armor. Then when opportunity does appear, you can grab it with steady hands. And when disaster strikes, you will stand while others drown. Say to yourself now, I will be ready no matter the storm. Write that in the comments so you never forget it. Let it become a vow that tomorrow you will sharpen your skills, your mind, and your courage. Number 11, your pain will be used against you in Squid Game. They saw your fears. They saw your broken hopes. They saw the cracks in your spirit, and they used them against you. That is not just a game, that is the world. Your heartbreak can be twisted to keep you desperate for approval. Your loneliness can be used to make you chase cheap comfort. Your shame can be weaponized to control you. Epictetus warned, people are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of things. If you do not own your pain, someone else will. They will use it like a leash. They will pull you in whatever direction they wish. So you must stand. You must patch those wounds. You must look your heartbreak straight in the eye and say, I survived you. You must look at your shame and say, I will use you to grow, not to shrink. You must look at your fear and say, you will not rule me. This is not softness. It is the fiercest courage there is. To stand before your weaknesses and refuse to run. Because once you accept your scars, once you name them, they can no longer be turned into chains. No enemy, no manipulator, no cunning salesman can twist them. Say to yourself now, I will seal my weaknesses with courage. Write that in the comments as a kind of iron oath to yourself. Then tomorrow start strengthening the cracks. Speak to someone you trust. Train your body. Journal your fears. A mind that is aware of its wounds and works to heal them cannot be controlled. Number 12. You are your last defender. In the end, Gi-hun stood alone. His friends were gone. The alliances had collapsed, the masks had dropped. All that was left was one human being facing himself. So it will be with you. You may gather allies, you may build a tribe, you may stand shoulder to shoulder with good people, but in your final battles you will face them alone. No one can fight for your mind. No one can carry your heart. No one can stand inside your skin and bear your choices. Seneca reminded us, no man can have a peaceful life who thinks only of lengthening it and makes no provision for living rightly. Living rightly. That means you build a code, you live by it, you protect it, because when the last test comes, only you answer for whether you betrayed your own values. The world can strip away your comforts. It can strip away your money, your praise, your status, even your body's strength. But it cannot strip away your code unless you hand it over. And the lazy mind hands it over quickly. The cowardly mind sells its code for approval, for cheap rewards, for a moment of safety. But the disciplined mind stands its ground. Like an unbroken fortress, it will not surrender to fear, to bribes, to threats. You must be that fortress. Because one day, the lights will go out, the noise will fade. There will be no one left to impress, no one left to blame, no one left to protect you. On that day, you must stand for yourself. Say to yourself, I will defend my values to my last breath. Write that in the comments. Let it be a vow. Let others see that you stand. Because if you truly hold your values, no amount of fear or betrayal can conquer you. This is how the Stoics faced life, not with illusions, but with steel. If these 12 dark truths have burned away your illusions, let them keep burning until you stand clean and strong. Do not turn away from the pain of seeing the world clearly. It is that pain that rebuilds you. Subscribe now, because the next lessons will forge you even harder, even sharper, so you cannot be broken. And before you leave, answer this in the comments. Which of these truths struck you the deepest, and how will you act differently now? Your answer could be the spark that helps another lost soul see through the now. If you are ready, come with me to the next teaching, where you will forge a mind that no betrayal, no storm, no loss will ever conquer again. Are you ready to rise?